Hey everybody, Shawn Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing you a caddis pattern this week. It's Egan's GTI Caddis. It stands for To Imitation, and it represents a Hydropsyche Caddis or a net builder caddis, and it's a great little one. We got lots of them here in my area. Um, Give this one a try, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it at the end. This one's going to catch you some fish. So here you go. You're going to see a picture of it, then the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see the GTI Caddis and the vise. Pretty simple, easy to tie pattern. Let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm going to use one of our Holsinger's Fly Shop all-purpose nymph hooks. This is size 16. With that 16 bead, I'm going to use a 2.5 millimeter tungsten copper bead. And I'm going to add a couple wraps of lead here. So I'm using some 0.015 lead wraps. I'm going to put about 10 of them on there. And then pop it off and just push it right up in behind that bead. Alright, that'll help lock the bead in place, keep it up there while we tie our fly. For thread, I'm using some Semperfli Nanosilk. This is 12-aught black. Use black, brown, whatever you got. And just wrap that lead into place there. Now, the tail on this pattern, I'm going to use some dark brown Antron. And I'm just going to tie it in, and I'm going to start it up on the lead there, make a couple wraps back, and then what I'm going to do is just tease that down until that goes right in behind the lead and builds a nice taper for me there. Just helps me transition into that lead a little better. I'm going to wrap around the bend just a little bit to make a nice size worm. Then once I get that all smoothed out like I like it, we're going to put the back on it. For a back, I'm using some 1/8 Scud back brown. Just going to set this up on top, tie it down, and then pull it tight a little bit and wrap it back to that tail. And now we're going to put some ribbing on it. I'm going to put 2 ribs on it. One is going to be some pearl Flashabou, and this is just going to be to add a little bit of flash to it. And then the other piece that I'm going to put on is this is just some 2-pound test monofilament, some leader material, fluorocarbon, whatever you have. And this is going to make the rib on the fly. So I'm just going to tie that on there and wrap that back to the bend too. I put one down each side. It just works a little bit better. And I like to put my my monofilament on the side away from me because I'm going to wrap it that way. So for dubbing on this, I'm going to use some squirrel dub. This is light olive squirrel dub, and it doesn't take much. I got a little bit too much there. For this size 16 fly, you don't need a whole lot. I don't want to build up. I want to make a skinny little worm here. Remember, this is a little worm that lives inside of that casing that you find attached to rocks and twigs and stuff underwater. So it has to live inside that casing. It's not going to be that big. It's skinny like everything else in nature except us. So make a couple wraps up there, get it right up there behind that bead, and we're going to put the thorax on this. For that, we're going to use a little bit of peacock prism. And again, go thin here. I don't need that much. Get that dubbed on there pretty tight. I have to take a little bit of that off, I feel. At least tighten it down. There we go. Okay, and then go right in behind that bead. And we're going to pull our scud back up over the... Oops, sorry. Before we do that, I'm going to put my rib on here with the Flashabou. So, I'm just going to make nice side-by-side wraps, spacing this up, just to add a little bit of extra flash in there. Just a little something extra to trigger the fish. And again, tie that off behind the bead. Now we're going to bring that scud back up over the top. Get that laying up on top and tie it down. Make 2 or 3 wraps, 1 or 2 in front of it, and then you can cut that off. And we're going to rib this thing now. So, taking that monofilament and just making, again, nice even wraps up through here. This is going to give us a segmented body. Just segment that the whole way up, right up behind the bead, tie it off. And then I cut my mono and I cut my tail at the same time. So this tail, you want it to be very short. You don't want it to be very long. What that is that's the little grippers that grip onto the stone whenever it's on the water, or holds it into its casing, or on the bottom on a stone or something. So you want to keep that pretty short. Last thing I'm going to do is put just a small little collar, come back in with that peacock dubbing. Make a nice tight little loop here. Don't want to overpower this, just want to put a nice little collar on here. And I'm okay if it gets a little bit buggy and flares up. So like that, I like that. We'll whip finish it and we're all done. I like to use the prism on here because A, it's flashy, and B, you can brush it out just a little bit. You don't need to brush it out much, but it gives a little bit of just bugginess to it. So there you go, your GTI Caddis. Okay guys, I hope you like this pattern. This is my style of how I tie the GTI Caddis. I know it's a little bit different than the originals tied, and that's fine. It fishes just the same. It imitates the exact same thing. And it looks pretty close to it too. Listen, whenever I do these videos, it's how I tie it. I tie things that work for me. The techniques that work for me. It's what I've come by 30 years of tying, how I learned to do things. I look at patterns, I dissect them, I come up with how I would tie it the way that I'm used to tying it. It looks practically the same thing, except I do a little bit different. Like he might not do as much on the collar or something like that, or not use prism, he uses a different material. Listen, it's what works for you. That's what's important here. I get comments about, oh, this guy originated this pattern, you're taking away from it. No, it's whatever works for you guys. Whatever catches fish and works for you is all that matters. I've had my flies copied and changed. Flies that I come up with, my steelhead candy was one of my original patterns that I come up with. It's been changed and twisted and tweaked over the years, and you don't hear me complaining about it if somebody copies my pattern. So get over it and have fun tying. We're here to catch fish. We're not here to dissect and go off on a tangent about who tied what and did what. So have fun tying, guys. That's all I can stress here. Caddis patterns really, really work in my area, and they probably will for you too. So this is one you need to have in your box. Main thing here, keep it thin. That's one thing that Lance would stress in his video too. These are very, very thin insects that live inside of casings. They're net builder caddis, so they live inside of something that confines their space. So keep your fly thin, and that's what's going to catch you the most fish. So have fun, guys. If you need any of the material or you need me to tie some for you, you can reach out to me at holsingerflyshop.com. So thanks for watching, guys. Until I bring you another video next week, I'm Shawn Holsinger.